His shoes were his home. His home was wherever his feet came to rest. As his bike tires carved up the distance between us, skin like a golden roasted turkey baked by the sun, he seemed unsure. Handlebars strapped with trinkets and plastic bags to carry the leftovers he'd collected from previous stops. His self-esteem was shaped by a casserole of setbacks, and as he approached, his confidence crumbled quickly like freshly baked cornbread. Whatever dreams he once had were now mashed potatoes swallowed in a gravy of disappointment. He was a cornucopia of emotions, and you could just tell that life had beat the stuffing out of him. They say, before you judge a person, you should walk a mile in their shoes. Well, to put yourself in this man's shoes would wear out your soul. But when he responded to a question I had posed, it was the sweet potato pie I had been craving all along. What are you thankful for? With little hesitation, he glanced up with a bittersweet cranberry sauce stare and said, breath. The ability to exhale. He explained that a few weeks ago he was on the wrong side of an unexpected attack, which left him unable to exhale after being ham-boned in the back. You see, breathing is a two-way street. And while the inhale provides oxygen as the diaphragm contracts, it's the exhale that manages stress and allows us to relax. Breathing out is all about letting go. As he reflected on that moment, he inhaled a prolonged, cavernous breath through his nose, as if savoring all the sacred smells of a Sunday afternoon potluck, before exhaling whatever weathered weariness had been weighing him down. Apple cider tears filled his eyes, and he simply said, "Thank you for asking." The recipe of his response was a culinary class on Thanksgiving. You see, to some, Thanksgiving is a holiday where good food and family meet. To others, Thanksgiving is defined by parades marching in the street. For far too many, it's become nothing more than an excuse to overeat. But Thanksgiving is a soundtrack that should be playing on repeat. It's a mindset that spans more than a moment, a realization that the simple, mundane, everyday occurrences that we take for granted are worth praising and celebrating our God for. The irony is, we often lack a spirit of thanksgiving because our plates are too full. Isn't it interesting how piling up your plate with unnecessary priorities will lead to consequences that are difficult to digest? Sometimes it's best to scrape off unfulfilling entrees to make room for better options. Take to heart what it means to truly give thanks in all circumstances. So if my cup does runneth over, then I'll thank Yahweh for the bliss. But if my cup is bare and empty, I'll learn to thank God for the dish. For I know that every breath that escapes my chest is a blessing I can't dismiss. His shoes were still his home. His home was a patchwork of grass in front of me where his feet came to rest. He was hungry for a meal. I was hungry for a word. We served each other with what we had, and we both walked away full.